Welcome to LNP Renewable System Director. Today we are going to discuss some of the basics of the humidity sensors, or we can also call it as arcade sensors. Okay, if you're going to work in a building management system, or if you're going to work in a building automation system where you are using variable air volume units, air handling units, fan coil units, okay, and even chillers, in such places you will come across some of the sensors like humidity sensor. So what are the things that we are going to discuss today? So what is a humidity sensor? Where can you see this? Okay, how it looks like, how it works, okay, how we need to wire this humidity sensor and how it is installed, and what as a BACS or a BMS engineer I should know about this humidity sensors. So first of all, basically if you want to know about the humidity sensor, it is an electronic device which measures the humidity in its environment and converts its finding into a corresponding electrical signal. The electrical signal can be a 4 to 20 milliamps output, or it can be a 0 to 10 volt DC. So where we are using this, it is mostly used in heat, ventilation, air conditioning industry. And what is the purpose of using? So if you know the amount of humidity present inside air, with the help of that we can control the temperature in that particular room. So we can operate the operation of the cooling coil as well as the heat water coil also. On in certain places, if you want to operate the heaters, okay, when and where we need to operate, that decision with the help of this humidity sensor we can take. So it is mostly used in all the multi-storage buildings, metro stations, airports, okay, and even in the new ports, normal shipyards also you can see this humidity sensors. So mostly where we are going to use this, see, if you are going for a variable air volume unit, okay, it has a actuator, damper control actuator, okay, and also it will have a reheat coil also, reheat control also. In such places, so if you want to know the if you want to control the airflow inside particular room or particular building, then you need to make on and off these reheat coils. Okay, is it while using the using reheat coil will reduces the humidity? Will it reduces the temperature, or will it reduce the humidity? Yes, it will reduce the relative humidity. So if you are using a space heater in order to reduce the humidity present inside the building, for sure the relative humidity will reduce. So in order to make that decision, you should know how much humidity is present inside that particular room. Okay, and even in so many dampers, for electrical reheaters alone, there are separate connections. Okay, so there are certain heaters which operates with 24 volt AC. There are certain heaters which operates with 230 volt supply. Okay, and even stage wise also we can perform the heating operation with the help of the inputs from this relative humidity sensor. Okay, so normally our RH values, relative humidity will be from 0 to 100%. Even in the air handling units also we use this humidity sensors. So how it looks like? So as I told earlier, there are so many competitors who are providing the sensors: Siemens, ABB, Allen Bradley, Schneider, like that. But today we are going to discuss in detail about the sensors which is used in Siemens. Okay, so some wall mount types is also there, and duct mount type is also there. Okay, so as I told earlier, temperature of a particular room is very much important in controlling. Even in the air handling units, you can see here for the hot water coil control, we need a humidity, and even here, see here we have a humidity in the return sensors, and even in the supply also we have a humidity. So humidity plays a vital role, okay, in deciding the temperature control, okay, whether we need to open the damper or not. Even the damper control as well as a hot water coil control or the heater control, it is being decided by this humidity sensors. So as I told earlier, there are sensors which provide the output for both. If you want, there are sensors which measures both humidity, relative humidity, as well as the temperature. Okay, even with the help of the jumper settings also, you can take the required output, or by connecting the proper terminals which is being provided for relative humidity, we can take the output. Okay, so whatever sensor you choose, for the sensor to operate, it need the operating voltage. So it can be 24 volt, or it can be 13.5 to 35 volt DC. Okay, so for sure wherever you go you can see G1, G2 or G0 terminals where you are going to connect your power supply. Using that power supply only the sensor is going to operate. Say for example, if you are going to take 0 to 10 volt DC output, there will be a provision terminal to connect the to take the voltage output from the sensor. If you are going for a 4 to 20 milliamps output, that is a terminal for connecting the 4 to 20 milliamps humidity output. Okay, and even there are certain sensors where you can individually have a only voltage output, that is 0 to 10 volt DC. There are certain sensors where you can get only 4 to 20 milliamps output only for humidity sensors. So as I told earlier, in Siemens we have so many varieties: QFM 3171D, QFM 3160D, QFM 3101, QFM 3100. So wherever you are going in the U1 terminals, so if you plan to take your relative humidity 0 to 100% as a DC output 0 to 10 volt, you can connect your terminals in U1. Okay, but basically for all the sensors to operate, even for the G0 terminal or the G1, G2 terminal, you need to connect the operating voltage. Okay, if you are connecting in G1, G2, it can be 13.5 to 35 volt DC, or if you are going for the G0 terminal, it can be AC 24 volt, or you can go for 13.5 to 35 volt. Okay, as I told earlier, default settings will be 0 to 100%. In the relative humidity, mostly in the percentage only we are going to take, so there won't be any unit change options. But for the electrical signal change option is there. With the help of the jumpers, either you can take your relative humidity output as a 0 to 10 volt DC, or you can take as a 4 to 20 milliamps. So as I told earlier, even for humidity transmitters also are available. Transmitters can be 2 wire, 3 wire or 4 wire, whatever it is. For sure, for it to operate, there is a need for power supply, and even for the analog input modules that we are going to connect also requires a power supply to operate. So as I told earlier, only for the temperature changing measuring range we have options, but for the humidity only the electrical outputs we can change in it. Either we can take in 0 to 10 volt DC, or we can take a 4 to 20 milliamps. So if you're going for a wall mount, this is how you need to install your temperature humidity sensors. If you're going for a duct, this is how you need to install your sensors. As I told earlier, so duct mount humidity sensor looks like this only. Relative humidity sensor, this is how it looks like, this is how it is getting installed inside the ducts. So as I told earlier, if you're going for air handling unit, for the control of the heater unit and the cooling coil, you need to know what is the relative humidity. So we are installing the humidity sensors in the supply line also, and even in the return line also we have, even in the pressure supply line, pressure ducts also we are having the humidity sensors. And if you're going for a single supply double extract type also, we have a relative humidity sensors. And if you're going for double supply single extract type also, even so this is a sample SCADA, so it will be very much useful for your pretty understanding, because you are seeing the equipments physically, and you know you have found the sensors, and you know where to connect the terminals and how you're going to get the signals, and that signals you're connecting with your DDC controllers or with the PLC controllers. There through scaling, you're converting that the voltage input that you are receiving to 0 to 100%, or the current input 4 to 20 ohms that you are getting into 0 to 100%, and you are mapping and you are displaying with the workstation SCADA. This is the single supply single extract type. Here also we are using the humidity sensors. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and press the bell icon. If you want to know more and learn more, you can contact us. We are providing training and consultancy supports for the automation projects. So if you're really interested, if you're a college student and you're working in a EEE department, or you're studying in a EEE department, or if, and you want to work in abroad in GCCs or oil and gas industries, and you want to know more about the PLC programming, and you want to know more about this equipments which is often used in the building management system, then you can contact us. We are providing trainings with certifications. So after the end of this training, when you apply for jobs in the Gulf, you have vast opportunities and you will get a good salary. Okay. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, and even if you want to know the electrical vehicle basics also, you can contact us. So we had provided the contact details in it, and even we are also providing solar on-grid, off-grid, hybrid application design, installation, testing, commissioning we are providing, and even for the solar fencings, okay, we are providing the kits, so you can contact us. We will provide the kits so that you can plug and play and you can protect your farms with the solar fencing devices. Thank you so much.